There are literally zero good arguments for democracy.
I believe there are many good arguments for democracy, but let's hear what you have to say.
There is no justification for the fact that a 65 IQ guy is equal to that of a 130 IQ 55-year-old political analyst who's been researching politics for 35 years.
So right off of the bat, it's safe to assume that this guy is a technocrat or an elitist, but my argument for why democracy is good is because no one is immune to being wrong, not even the brilliant, especially the brilliant. Being smart doesn't mean you're right, and it is tempting to believe that intelligence guarantees wisdom, but history doesn't prove that. For example, the Ivy League backed the Iraq War. Top economists missed the 2008 crash. German PhDs backed Nazism and the Holocaust. Stalin's purges were orchestrated by very smart elites. Mao's Cultural Revolution was engineered by insanely bright intellectuals. Some of the worst decisions that we as a collective society would label as being bad came from highly intelligent, educated people who were completely disconnected from real life. Because being smart doesn't make you morally correct or right. It often just means that you're better at justifying delusions. If intelligence were a safeguard, then the 20th century wouldn't have seen genocides planned by doctors, by PhDs, by intellectuals. It would have never happened. The guy with a 65 IQ, his vote still matters because he has to live under the laws that are passed. He might not know how to write papers. He might not write books. He might not be that 55-year-old political analyst that you're referring to. But he knows if his rent goes up. He knows if his kid is failing in school. He knows if he's going to lose his job. He knows if his town is being flooded with drugs and crime. That lived experience is data. And ignoring that in the favor of intellectual theories always leads to disaster. But let's follow your logic, buddy, okay? Smarter people should have more power. Congratulations, you've just reinvented technocracy in China, aristocracy from 19th century Europe, oligarchy in Russia, and theocratic elitism, what we currently see in Iran. All of these systems concentrate power into the hands of very few people. They crush dissent, they commit massive human rights violations, and they eventually become corrupt and unstable. And the people who are in charge surround themselves with other people who are loyal to them, their mission, and their ideology to remain in power and continue this cycle. If rule by the smart and intellectual was the answer, then the Soviet Union would have been a paradise. Unfortunately, it wasn't.
That's all democracy boils down to. Whoever can capture the trend wins.
That is true, but that is profoundly democratic. You know what that means? It means that people can be convinced, that their opinions can change, and that culture evolves over time. And yes, trends can be dumb, but in democracy, dumb trends burn out, but in dictatorships, dumb ideas become policy by force. Trends can be mocked and rejected. Tyrants, dictators, they can't be.
It was a dogma imposed after the Second World War to make sure that no nationalist would ever rise again.
You know why liberal democracy became the global idea after World War II? Because fascism, communism, and imperialism all failed horribly.